I would love to be able to tell you that if you just took 1 week off of work and headed to a tropical island, that all of your stress problems would be solved. Pull that off twice a year and you'll be stress-free. Yeah, right. Most stress relief advice is just band-aid fixes. Yes, yoga and meditation and a vacation could help, but if you're not fixing the way you think the rest of the time that you're not on your mat or in the Bahamas, then the stress is going to just keep coming back. Today I'm going to talk about how you can change your mindset around stress so that you can actually handle the stress when it comes up instead of just putting a bunch of temporary fixes on it. Hi, I'm Jess of JessDickerson.com, and I'm a life coach helping you go from stress to success by giving you the tools to be more confident, more motivated, and less stressed. By the end of this video, you're going to have 3 practical tools that you can use to help you deal with stress, not just as a temporary fix, but actually change the way that you think about stress so that you can handle it as it comes up, so that you're dealing with the stress from the inside out. So what do I mean when I talk about dealing with stress from the inside out? Most stress fixes are something that we do. There are absolutely tons of benefits from yoga, meditation, deep breathing, vacations, but they're all things that you do and they're all a temporary fix. Even if you spent an hour a day on your yoga mat, what about the other 23 hours of the day? Changing how you think is the real key to dealing with stress. Because let's face it, stress isn't going anywhere. Studies are showing that a full 3/4 of Americans are suffering from psychological and physical symptoms of stress, and that 1/3 of us are suffering from extreme stress. As someone that suffered from burnout for over a year and spent another 1.5 years recovering from it, these statistics are really disheartening. So let's talk about how we're going to deal with stress from the inside out. The first technique is to reframe the situation. Reframing just means changing the way that you think about something. While we may not choose the situations that we get into that cause us stress, we can choose the way that we think about them. And changing those thoughts makes all the difference. The first thing to do is to change the way that you think about stress. Stress can actually be helpful. It gives you an adrenaline rush and it can make you work faster and think more clearly. Just realizing that stress can be helpful can change the way that your body reacts to it. They did a study where some people read an article about all of the negative things that happen in your body during stress, and another group read an article about all of the benefits of stress. The people that read the negative article had the negative effects, like increased blood pressure, and the people that had the positive article had improved performance. So the next time you're in a stressful situation, don't be thinking about the negative effects the stress could have. Think about the positive ones, about how it could make you work faster and think more clearly, and it will actually help you. The other important way to reframe a situation is to flip the way you're thinking about it. Instead of thinking about it as why me, switch it to what can I do about it? If you're wallowing in a situation and feeling like the victim, even if you are, this is going to activate the emotional part of your brain. This part of your brain activates the fight or flight situation and it blocks off all of your good quality cognitive thinking. When you get in that situation of being in your emotional brain, it's very hard to think clearly and you're not going to make good quality decisions. This is a time to put in place one of those temporary fixes like a deep breath that will help calm down your nervous system and then flip your thinking from why me to what can I do. This helps get you out of the emotional place, and it also helps get you out of the defense, which is what activates the emotional brain in the first place. Realizing that in every situation, even if all of the choices are bad, you get to choose. Sometimes the situations are incredibly stressful, and it can be very hard to get yourself out of that thinking. You might not be feeling particularly resourceful or creative and be able to come up with some other choices for the situation. When this happens, try to take it outside of yourself. Imagine that you were talking to a mentor or a role model and telling them your story. What advice would they give you? What would they do in that situation? Getting into a more resourceful place will help you let your prefrontal cortex take over, which is where you do all of your logical thinking, and it will help get you into action, which will help reduce the feeling of stress that you're having and help you take control of the situation. The next technique is to let it go. Yeah, just like the song, but maybe with not so much snow. I guess that's up to you. I'm sure there are plenty of chronic worriers out there right now. And as a former worrier myself, I'm here to tell you that that is a habit that you need to break. Yes, thought patterns can be habits, and worry is one of those negative thought habits. Regardless of whether you're stressing about something that happened in the past or worried about something that might happen in the future, you can stop those thoughts by asking yourself these two questions. Number one, what is in my control and how can I manage that better? And number two, what is not in my control and how can I let that go? Just recognizing that something isn't in your control can be enough to help you let go of it. In fact, I've had clients have huge aha moments around just realizing that something is out of their control, and that enables them to just let go of it. However, not everyone is like that. And if you find that realizing that something is out of your control just sends you on another path of worry, then you need to put a strategy in place for when you realize that something's not in your control. In fact, at those times, that is a great place for some of the outside-in stress relief practices. Once you know that there's nothing that you can do about it, but you still can't stop worrying about it, then it's time to take a moment and fix the habit pattern. If the trigger is realizing that you don't have control of a certain situation, then replace the act of worrying with one of the outside-in stress relief practices, such as meditation, yoga, or deep breathing. The third technique is learning from our struggles. When we're in a stressful situation, it's really easy to say, oh my goodness, just get me out of here. I can't take it. I want to go home and forget all of this ever happened. But what if, when it was over, instead of running away from it and trying to forget it, that you asked yourself, what can I learn from this? Not how could I have fixed it or done it better or spent a bunch of time ruminating on what happened. Simply, what can I learn from this experience? Life has this way of throwing us the same situation over and over again until we learn to deal with it. And if we don't ever learn from it, we tend to get stuck. If you find yourself in a situation and you're saying, why does this always happen to me? Then it might be because you're not learning from the situation. If this situation comes up for you a lot, maybe you've got a boss that freaks out all of the time, or maybe you're constantly under tight deadlines. Figure out what you can learn from the situation. Then make a plan for the next time, execute it, see what works, and revise as needed. This will both help you reduce the stress around the situation itself because you'll have a new plan for it, but also the stress caused by worrying about what will happen the next time the situation comes up. These are 3 big ways to help you change the way that you think about stress and how you deal with stressful situations. These techniques are immensely helpful in preventing you from getting to the point where you're actually in burnout or you're living on the edge of it, just waiting for the next vacation, waiting for the weekend because you can't handle the stress that you've got during the week. I'd love to hear which one you think will be the most helpful for you and which one you're going to try first. Let me know down in the comments section. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and to hit the subscribe button for your weekly dose of confidence, motivation, and stress relief. If you're interested in further reading about this topic, go ahead down to the show notes and I'll have some links to some blog posts that I wrote about stress. I'll also have a link down there so you can sign up for my newsletter so you're the first to know about new videos and programs. Plus, there's a link so that you can learn how to work with me. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.